皆さんまた来てくださってありがとうございます。今日はね月曜日の午後なんですよ。今日はねニューヨークは雨です。ということで、イーロン・マスクがツイッターを買ってからもうすごいことになっていて、なんかまた政府はなんか検閲機関みたいなのを作ったみたいなんですね。ということですごい騒ぎになっているこの状況をご覧ください。どうぞ。
Are a disaster. Their president, well, most Americans agree is mentally unfit. Their vice president is incompetent. Their poll numbers are worse than ever. And now their precious Twitter is under new ownership. Now, the days of arbitrarily banning or censoring speech appears to be over. Free speech, according to Elon Musk, is coming to Twitter. And high in their ivory tower, America's ever so fragile left liberals, they can't seem to handle it emotionally. It's getting funny. Now, notorious fraud Elizabeth Warren called it, quote, dangerous for our democracy, and then threatened to take Elon Musk's wealth by force. Let's just take all his money. We'll steal it. Now, Socialist Senator Ed Markey, he was openly worried about Elon's dangerous influence over the social media platform. The congenital liar Adam Schiff tweeted, quote, I am concerned Elon's personal views will stop the fight against disinformation on social media. The biggest liar in the country. Now, make no mistake, no one in America has pushed more disinformation than him. Now, he frequently claimed that there was direct and ample evidence of Russia collusion. That turned out to be a lie and a hoax and a conspiracy theory that he sold to America for years. Now, to this day, Adam Schiff, he continues to cast doubts on the legitimacy of the 2016 election. Adam Schiff isn't worried that Americans will be exposed to disinformation. No, he's worried they'll actually be exposed to something called the truth, something he's not really familiar with. Like, for example, Hunter Biden's very real laptop from hell. Now, in 2020, Twitter completely censored New York Post and their bombshell report on the laptop just weeks before the presidential election. They even banned private messages linking to the story, and they locked Twitter accounts of America's oldest daily newspaper. At the time, Twitter claimed the Post violated their hacked materials policy, but the materials were not hacked. There was no evidence. In reality, Twitter blocked the report for one reason and one reason only, to protect Joe Biden, period. Now, yesterday, Twitter's new owner tweeted, quote, suspending the Twitter account of a major news organization for publishing a truthful story was obviously incredibly inappropriate. And now something else inappropriate appears to be going on at Twitter. Shortly after Elon's successful bid to buy the social media giant, well, conservatives on the platform all of a sudden, out of nowhere, enjoyed a massive bump in followers and interactions. For example, in just 2 days, Donald Trump Jr., wow, magically, he got 200,000 new followers. It's roughly 2,000% increase daily. Wow. It's almost as if Twitter employees lifted a broad anti-conservative, anti-Trump shadow ban, which we all knew was taking place anyway. That's going to change. And stories about the Biden family's very real corruption might even be allowed to trend at some times. Now, like this very interesting development, according to newly uncovered emails, Hunter Biden trashed Bill Clinton and everyone around him. He referred to Clinton as an a-hole who looks like Adam Schiff, and he also referred to Clinton aides as petty, greedy, venal, and low rent for getting paid by the Clinton Foundation. And apparently, according to Hunter, the only classy way to make money is to sell out your father's office to, let's see, the communist Chinese and Russian oligarchs, Ukraine, avoid paying taxes, and then spend millions on crack cocaine hookers and low mileage leases on exotic cars, all while saving 10% for the big guy. That's right, President Joey.
These questions are being raised today about how the board will determine what is misinformation as we learn more about who is leading it. We already know the term disinformation has been used to censor content, such as speculation that COVID leaked from a Chinese lab, which Facebook banned, before U.S. intelligence agencies later found the scenario one of two plausible pandemic origin theories. And the Post's reporting on documents from Hunter Biden's laptop, which Twitter blocked, and later turned out to be legit. The new disinformation czar, Nina Jankowicz herself, suggested the Hunter Biden laptop story was part of a foreign influence campaign. Yet she'll be deciding what's true, and she will be deciding what gets labeled as fake. And critics are also slamming the timing of the board just 6 months before the midterms. But the White House is defending the new panel against the severe backlash in this way. Watch.
We know that there has been a range of disinfo out there about a range of topics. I mean, including COVID, for example, and also elections and eligibility, but I will check and see if there's more specifics. Well, I don't have any comments on the laptop, but what I can tell you is that it sounds like the objective of the board is to prevent disinformation and misinformation from traveling around the country in a range of communities. I'm not sure who opposes that effort.
Jason Chaffetz, sure, a noble concept, a noble intent, but it's everything else we have problems with.
Yeah, look, every dictator wants to have a tool like this to be able to say, I deem this true and this not true. It actually goes back to the Obama administration. I think what they're really trying to do is to give excuses to the other social media companies and the traditional media to say, well, you need to suppress this, you shouldn't do it because it's just not true. So says the government. So, hey, that's what we're going to do.
Right.
I think that's their goal. And I think the threat of Elon Musk is the idea that he's going to expose the suppression and the shadow banning that has been happening. When he's able to get in there and look at the algorithm himself, that is the biggest threat to the traditional media and the other social media companies.
That's right. And Tommy, what exactly are Democrats so afraid of? Why is the truth, as Jason's saying, why is that so terrifying to Democrats? Is the truth really so scary to Democrats? Because maybe if people know the truth, they'll change the way they vote. They've always had this referee in big tech to rig the game in their favor. Now Elon Musk, like you said, Jason, is a real threat to them because maybe, just maybe, he's not going to be one of those big tech wardens on their side. So now they have to scramble and bring the government in. But it's all these changing definitions that they need to protect people from ideas and speech. We don't need protection from speech. We need more speech, more ideas, more of a marketplace of thought.
皆さんお帰りなさい。どうでしたかということでね、私もね今までね多分この私のこの動画を見てくださっていて、私もあったんですこういうことって言ってた方いらっしゃったと思うんですけど、私も結構ね何度もあったんですよ。なんかねすごいねもうケチョンケチョンに叩いてくる人がいて、いやそれは違いますよ、これがアメリカの本当の情報ですよって言って書いたその意見だけがミステリアスリーに消えてるんですよいつも。で例えばそこにもう入れなくなったりとか、私全然その YouTube とか詳しくなかったんですけど、今回のビデオでシャドーバンっていうのだったんだっていうことに気づいたんですね。だからこのシャドーバンっていうのも実はこう政府系の左の人たちがこう知らないうちにこう消していたっていう他の人が見れなくなるようにしてるっていうことだったんですね。私は今頃知りましたということでまた見てください。それでは良いウィークをお迎えくださいませ。